Welcome to eGossip 3.0. Today, we're exploring the extraordinary and deeply emotional journey of AgnethaFältskog, the legendary voice of ABBA, whose angelic tone helped define one of the most successful pop groups in history, even as her private life unraveled behind the scenes. Long before she became an international icon, Agnetha was a quiet, introspective girl from Jönköping, Sweden, gifted with a natural musical sensitivity that emerged almost as soon as she could speak. By her teenage years, she was already writing songs, performing on local stages, and carving out a reputation as one of Sweden's most promising young talents. Everything changed when she crossed paths with musician and songwriter Bjorn in the late 1960s. Their connection was instant, a blend of romance and creative chemistry that blossomed into marriage in 1971. What neither of them knew at the time was that their partnership would become the emotional core of a band that would soon dominate global music charts. When ABBA exploded onto the world stage after their 1974 Eurovision win, the group's glossy harmonies, sparkling costumes, and irresistible melodies made them international superstars. To fans, Agnetha and Bjorn appeared to be the perfect couple, the golden pair at the heart of a golden group. But behind the polished performances and dazzling tours was a reality shaped by relentless pressure, constant travel, and the emotional strain of living both a marriage and a career entirely in the public eye. By the late 1970s, the cracks in their relationship grew impossible to ignore. Demands of fame, exhaustion, and the difficulty of maintaining a private life while working together every day began to erode the foundation they had built. Their divorce in 1979 shocked fans around the world, not just because of the separation itself, but because the two were still contractually obligated to perform, create, and harmonize side by side. It was a uniquely painful situation, two people navigating the breakup of their marriage while continuing to make music that millions adored. As ABBA released new albums in the early 1980s, listeners began to feel the emotional weight in their music, unknowingly hearing the echoes of Agnetha and Bjorn's personal heartbreak embedded within the songs. Even as she delivered flawless vocals, she was privately carrying the emotional burden of a relationship that had dissolved under the spotlight. When the band eventually fractured in 1982, especially after the group's second couple, Annifrid and Benny, also separated, Agnetha found herself emotionally drained and eager to retreat from public life. Her decision to step away from fame earned her a reputation for extreme privacy, a label that followed her for decades as she chose to live quietly, far removed from the chaos of global celebrity. Yet despite her withdrawal, her legacy never dimmed. Her voice remains one of the most recognizable in pop history, capable of conveying both shimmering joy and devastating vulnerability with equal power. In many ways, Agnetha's story is one of remarkable resilience, an artist who endured immense personal pressure while the world watched, and who ultimately chose peace over spectacle. Her journey reminds us that sometimes the greatest triumph lies not in the spotlight, but in reclaiming the right to live life on one's own terms.